Marlena had last seen the solar system when she was a little over 1 year old. She didn't remember it, of course. She had read a great deal about it, but none of the reading had ever made her feel that it could ever have been part of her, nor she a part of it. In all her 15 years of life, she remembered only Rotor. She had always thought of it as a large world. It was 8 kilometers across, after all. Every once in a while, since she was 10, once a month when she could manage it, she had walked around it for the exercise, and sometimes had taken the low-gravity paths so she could skim a little. That was always fun. Skim or walk, Rotor went on, with its buildings, its parks, its farms, and mostly its people. It took her a whole day to do it, but her mother didn't mind. She said Rotor was perfectly safe. Not like Earth, she would say. But she wouldn't say why Earth was not safe. Never mind, she would say. It was the people Marlena liked least. The new census, they said, would show 60,000 of them on Rotor. Too many. Far too many. Every one of them showing a false face. Marlena hated seeing those false faces and knowing there was something different inside. Nor could she say anything about it. She had tried sometimes when she had been younger, but her mother had grown angry and told her she must never say things like that. As she got older, she could see the falseness more clearly, but it bothered her less. She had learned to take it for granted and spend as much time as possible with herself and her own thoughts. Lately, her thoughts were often on Erythro, the planet they had been orbiting almost all her life. She didn't know why these thoughts were coming to her, but she would skim to the observation deck at odd hours and just stare at the planet hungrily, wanting to be there, right there on Erythro. Her mother would ask her, impatiently, why she should want to be on an empty, barren planet, but she never had an answer for that. She didn't know. I just want to, she would say. She was watching it now, alone on the observation deck. Rotorians hardly ever came here. They had seen it all, Marlena guessed, and for some reason they didn't have her interest in Erythro. There it was, partly in light, partly dark. She had a dim memory of being held to watch it swim into view, seeing it every once in a while, always larger, as Rotor slowly approached all those years ago. Was it a real memory? After all, she had been getting on toward 4 then, so it might be. But now that memory, real or not, was overlaid by other thoughts, by an increasing realization of just how large a planet was. Erythro was over 12,000 kilometers across, not 8 kilometers. She couldn't grasp that size. It didn't look that large on the screen, and she couldn't imagine standing on it and seeing for hundreds or even thousands of kilometers. But she knew she wanted to. Very much. RNL wasn't interested in Erythro, which was disappointing. He said he had other things to think of, like getting ready for college. He was 17 and a half. Marlena was only just past 15. That didn't make much difference, she thought rebelliously, since girls developed more quickly. At least they should. She looked down at herself and thought, with her usual dismay and disappointment, that somehow she still looked like a kid, short and stubby. She looked at Erythro again, large and beautiful, and softly red where it was lit. It was large enough to be a planet, but actually, she knew, it was a satellite. It circled Megas, and it was Megas, much larger still, that was really the planet, even though everyone called Erythro by that name. The two of them together, Megas and Erythro, and Rotor too, circled the star, Nemesis. Marlena! Marlena heard the voice behind her and knew that it was RNL. She had grown increasingly tongue-tied with him of late, and the reason for it embarrassed her. She loved the way he pronounced her name. He pronounced it correctly, 3 syllables, Marlena, with a little trill to the R. It warmed her just to hear it. She turned and mumbled, "Hi, RNL," and tried not to turn red. He grinned at her. "You're staring at Erythro, aren't you?" She didn't answer that. Of course that's what she would be doing. Everyone knew how she felt about Erythro. How come you're here? Tell me you were looking for me, she thought. Orinel said, Your mother sent me. Oh, well. Why? She said you were in a bad mood, and every time you felt sorry for yourself, you came up here. And I was to come and get you because she said it would just make you grumpier to stay here. So why are you in a bad mood? I'm not. And if I am, I have reasons. What reasons? Come on now. You're not a little kid anymore. You've got to be able to express yourself. Marlena lifted her eyebrows. I am quite articulate, thank you. My reasons are that I would like to travel. Orinel laughed. You've traveled, Marlena. You've traveled more than 2 light years. No one in the whole history of the solar system has ever traveled even a small fraction of a light year. Except us. So you have no right to complain. You're Marlena Insignia Fisher, galactic traveler.